good, my family? What's good, Unique Perspective Podcast family? Peace to all my kings and queens out there. Much love to everybody. Sending peace and blessings to all who's seeing this. So today, man, I wanted to touch on something that I done touched on before, but I just want to kind of have another conversation about it, and that is the black community. Are we one people or are people divided? All right, so today we're going to be talking about the black community. Are we one people or are people divided? So, like I say, this is something I want to, that I've touched on in the past, but I want to come back and kind of touch up again. Do y'all feel like we really are a community? Like, are we really, like, about supporting each other, having each other back, loving each other? Or is that just something we like to say? To me, man, I think our hearts are in the right place. You know, I think we definitely want to be a community. I think we definitely want to be every bit of that image that we portray. I mean, or that we speak about, but we don't necessarily always portray that image. And what I mean by that is just like, you know, in the community, man, it's like these days, you see more jealousy, envy, hatred from your own than you sometimes see from other groups, other races. You know what I mean? And so that's what I want to kind of talk about today, man. Like, you know, first I want to, you know, just kind of talk about if we a community or are we just divided. But I also want to talk about, can we become a community and what would need to happen for us to get to a point where we have that unity again. And the reason why I say that unity again is because we once had that. You know what I mean? We once had that shit, man. As a people, you know, black folks coming out of slavery, man, like black folks was like together, you know what I mean? And like helping each other. And, you know, we trying to come out the worst part of our history. And all we had was us. You know what I'm saying? We had God that we believed in, and we had each other, right? And so it was important for us to build a community where we helped one another and helped ourselves as well, you know what I mean? And our little communities thrive. And we all know how this story go. Every time we build up a nice, strong community, you know, here come the racist whites, the white power structure want to come in and destroy what we build, you know? And that's kind of been like our history in this country, you know? But like I say, man, I want y'all to know this, all right? We can still be that 1921 Black Wall Street type of people, bro. And Black Wall Street in Tulsa is the most famously known, but there were other Black Wall Streets that actually was before Tulsa. You know, I think in Durham, North Carolina, they had like one of the first ones that was super successful. You know, and they had a massacre. Okay, so it's a lot of history out there to learn. Go learn about these communities that we built up, these successful communities that we were able to use to suffice our community. So, you know, do that research, man. Look up Black Wall Street and the other communities that we built. But what I was saying was we could definitely be that again. And this time we could be on a whole nother level, because we not gonna stand for none of that shit from the past. You know what I mean? We're not even them people no more. So ain't gonna be no, oh, somebody gonna come burn down our building and ain't nobody gonna have to answer for that shit. See, you can't stop the devil from doing his deeds, but you sure can't check his ass when it come time. So like, if we were to get together again, man, and just start working together and pooling our resources together, I'm not worried about somebody taking something from us. You know what I mean? We can protect ourselves in every way, whether it be physically, mentally, or spiritually, in this day and era. So I truly believe that we can build again and we can be that community. But do I think we are a community now? Nope. And it's a lot of things out there. You can see it, homie. Like, you can, like, I'll give you a simple example. Bro, black folks won't even, when you walk by a black person, and sometimes you'll speak, say, hey, what's that, how you doing? Sometimes motherfuckers won't even speak to you, homie. Sometimes people won't even say, hey, how you doing back? You know what I mean? Like, and black women look at you like you trying to do something to them, like you're trying to harm them, or like you're trying to holler at them or something. You might be just wanting to say, how you doing, my sister, and just show love towards your sister in God's eyes. And but they always perceiving it to be something else. And we gotta get beyond that shit, man. Like, especially with dudes, bro. Dudes can't even say what's up to one another because it'd be so much hostility. We carry around so much anger and hostility with us. And so in order for us to even take one step toward being that kind of community again, we first gotta start showing each other love and respect, bro. Because I don't know if y'all know, we losing. We losing, man. Check the scoreboard. I know them youngsters, you know what I mean, and like Chicago like to say, you know, they putting up points or they up on the score on the ops. Shit, the ops up on the score on us. Y'all killing each other. They sitting back like, yes, we ain't gotta do nothing. They gonna kill each other. We even gotta do no heavy lifting no more. So the ops up on us, man. And how do I know this? Shit, just look around, bro. They own all the corporation. They own all the law. They own all of the media. They own all of the most of the hospital system. You know what I mean? So everything that we need to be a civilized and a productive society, our ops have control of. You know what I mean? And so what I'm telling y'all is we have to start being realistic and being vigilant to what's going on in the world around us. We losing as a people. Now, we got a lot of drip. We bark loud. But I'm telling y'all right now, it's these quiet motherfuckers you got to worry about. The Asian community, the Mexican community. Man, them folks moving up. They moving up the ladder, bro. Mexicans came here, opened up businesses, and they only market toward their own. You'll see a black person in there eating their food, but they ain't marketing, they ain't advertising for you to come. Yeah, they'll take your money, but they don't give a shit whether you come there or not. They know they people gonna come there. That's why they open up them spots, and you go in them spots, and it's never somebody that speaks English and Spanish. It's always somebody that speaks just Spanish, and that's cool. I love what they doing. They support their own. They about their own people, right? Chinese too. I remember in Atlanta, you could start seeing what the Chinese was like taking over North Atlanta. And it was just apparent, like having their own banks, having their own schools. You go in one of them Chinese restaurants with all that Chinese shit on the wall and on the cool, no English, nothing in there. They just letting you know off the bat, bro, we don't even really want your business. And that's cool, because they support their own. You know what I mean? And that's what we got to start doing, bro. See, our problem is we never learn to play the game, the real game. See, we learn how to make money. We learn how to be educated. We learn how to be book smart in those things. But this white power structure built a system that's dirty. And in order to play it, you got to know all the loopholes. You got to know all the back doors. You can't just always play this game the honest way. See, that's why we keep losing. Because, see, they taught us to be fair, to be just, all that dumb shit. And we keep being fair and just, and we keep losing. We got to play it the dirty way. And I ain't talking about like just on some criminal shit. I'm talking about being smart, being cunning, being wise. You know what I mean? I give you an example. I think it was the Carolina Panthers that was about to come up for sale a few years ago. And, you know, everybody on this pro-black movement, so the first thing cats went to hollering about is, all right, somebody black ought to buy the team. They ought to, and now you know they got this white boys club in football. They don't really want no black person to buy a team, but with the pressure that's on this day and age, if somebody was to step up and had the ability to do so, all eyes would be on the NFL to turn them down. So, the pressure would be on for them to give us a chance, but, they don't want to. But like I said, the Carolina Panthers had came up for sale. And the first thing I was saying was, shh. When everybody was talking about somebody black need to step up, then out of nowhere, P. Diddy jumped out on social media. All his success and all the money he getting, and he comes out, I'm gonna get with my people and I'm gonna buy the Carolina Panthers. He was probably serious as a heart attack. First thing I said when he did that was, you fucked up. You shouldn't even said it out loud. And that's what I mean when I say we gotta learn how to play the game. See what I'm saying? Now, if P. Diddy was smart, he would have established an LLC, a company, and he would have appointed a board and put a white face on that board, right? And let that white face make that bid for that team. Because when you do an LLC, you can be the CEO, but you can have board members, you can have members that, that have, they can either have shares or ownership of the company, but the company will be yours. And he could have, you could put a white face on that company and let that white face go out and bid for that team. Then you take ownership of that team. Good luck for the black community, right? But because you come out and you say, I'm gonna buy the team, them folks ain't gonna take your bid. They already said, oh no, we're not selling. We definitely not selling to him. So what I mean when I say learn how to play the game, I mean don't let them see you coming. Don't let them see you coming, bro. Be the spook by the door. I know some of y'all probably read that book before or have heard of it. Be the spook by the door. The whole purpose of that is to be inconspicuous, so don't nobody see you coming. Don't nobody know that you've been plotting, you've been planning this whole time. Catch them by surprise. So like I say, man, we definitely have to learn to play the game. We definitely have to be realistic about the game we playing. All right. Now, you gotta understand, man. We were bought over here in bondage, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole too far, but there's also a theory that say we were already here, right? And that the Native American tribes are mostly just African tribes, and we were already here. And I truly believe that, but that's for another video. So y'all stay tuned with me. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do a video on that. But like I said, we were bought here in bondage. We were brought to a foreign land where they spoke a different language. We didn't speak the language. So just off of that, they were already ahead of us. Like, just, if somebody kidnapped you and took you to the jungles of Brazil and dropped you off in the jungles of Brazil, what's the chances of you being successful and surviving? Not very. But the inhabitants of that jungle are gonna be great at surviving. They're gonna be light years ahead of you. Same way with the white man when he bought slaves here. They was already light years ahead of us. They already had a system in place. They already had been here for some time and had a system of law, a system of business and commerce in place when we got here, before we could ever read any of their bullshit English. They already had a system of law and commerce in place, their law and their commerce. We come from civilization. I mean, we wrote law. We wrote all of this, but we didn't speak their language. They changed the language. So we were already at a huge disadvantage. All right. And so they end up having this tremendous head start on their own system that they built. And we were forced to come from behind the 8 ball to basically, it's been an uphill battle for us, but that's why I love us. Because, man, they done threw every motherfucking thing at us except the kitchen sink, and we done ducked it all. We done absorbed whatever pain, blows they could throw at us, and we still here. All right? So we're strong people. We're strong-willed people. But we have to learn how to play the game, or the game is going to leave us behind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being real with y'all. The way we treat each other, we got to change that shit, bro, or we going to lose. a big L is coming for us if we don't change the way we interact with each other. So like I said, at the end of the day, we talking about the black community. Are we one community, or are we a community divided? Right now, I think we're a community divided. I think that online, people like to portray this black pride online, like everybody super pro-black. When you're on Instagram, everybody's super pro-black and woke on Facebook. But when it comes down to the everyday things that we need to be doing, we ain't doing none of them. We out here begging Massa to make things right. Please, Massa, give us reparations. Please, Massa, pass a law so we don't get killed. I'm just being real with y'all, man. That shit ain't gonna work. Nah, it ain't gonna work. When you want some shit done, family, you gotta infiltrate the system and get it done yourself. You see, we look at white folks and we talk all that shit about how they raise their kids and this, that, and the third. But little Billy and little Johnny being raised to be the next congressman, to be the next senator, to be the next judge. What we do with little Ray Ray and little Jimmy, we let our kids go be the next football player. We raising our kids to be the next NBA young boy. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking about all black people. I'm just talking about a section of our society. We raising our kids to get jobs. We got to change that. Because if we ever want the power or the protections, we have to start putting our own people in positions of power. And it starts with the kids. We got to start raising kids that go on to have political careers. And we got to teach our kids to put their people first. It's just to make sure that things are getting done to help your community and not hinder your community. You know what I mean? So that's a big, huge component that we as a people need to start focusing on. Raising our kids, training our kids up to be in politics, sending our kids to computer camps so they can dominate tech. We need to be, we already do a good job of sending our girls to be doctors and nurses. We need more lawyers, because we definitely need help with the law. You know what I mean? If we are to change things in this country, we got to occupy positions of power. We got to occupy Senate seats. We can't just be in the presidential office. Because Barack Obama was a black man, but he wasn't for the community. I don't give a damn what none of his fans say. I mean, we all know that. We seen what happened when he was in office. And people want to make all kind of excuses for him. But the bottom line is, you didn't get it done, bro. You look good being in there. It made us feel good, but nothing changed. And I'm not saying that it was on him to change everything in his two terms in office. But he could have been a motivational spark more than what he was, to just say, hey man, enough is enough. I would have liked to hear him speak out on police brutality more. You know what I mean? He ain't have to change the word, bro, but at least speak out on that shit more, because guys were getting killed when he was in office. But I'm not going to go too far down that line. We definitely need to occupy positions of power. It starts with putting our kids in the right positions to be in these fields. You know what I mean? We can't be just letting our kids choose what they want to do. I know that shit sounds crazy as hell, but I'm telling you right now, if we continue to, okay, you just, go out and be what you want to be, instead of like putting them on a course early. Listen, if you put them on a course early, right, and you kind of steer your kids in a direction, and let's say they become an adult, when they get up to 18, 19 years old, and they decide they want to do something else, all true be told, I would support that all day long. But at least give it a chance, because that kid might end up liking politics and might end up embracing that role. We need it, man. You can't go to the devil and ask the devil to do right by you. The devil all about negativity. The devil ain't got no love in his heart. You think the devil gonna feed you and take care of you and comfort you? That nigga feed you poison. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna give you nourishment. So what I'm saying is, we keep asking for reparations. We keep, asking for policies to be put on the books to protect us from law enforcement in unjust situations. But that shit ain't gonna happen till we get 10 or 20 Stacey Abrams in the Senate. Till we get more Angela Rise in the Senate. You know what I mean? Cory Bookers. Till we get more of those in the Senate. And that's part of like the big picture. So we definitely got to show each other. We got to start showing each other most love, because that's the easiest thing. It's free to do that. It's free to say, what's up, my brother? What's up, my sister? Much love, my brother. Much love, my sister. It's good. It's easy to do that. It's free to do that. Then the second step, we got to start socializing and talking to each other about things like this. We got to encourage people to steer their kids into tech, into politics. I know I'm putting mine. I know I'm steering mine. He got to do one or the other. He can play sports, he can rap, he can do all the things he want to do, but you definitely gonna have to do something that can be beneficial toward your future and toward your people's future. And listen, you ain't got to raise your kids on none of this, but you also can't sit back and be complaining and whining when things be happening in the community and you don't like them. Because either you're going to be a part of the solution or you're going to continue to be a part of the problem. And this is an uncomfortable conversation sometimes, but this is what we need to be talking about. We got to learn how to play the game, or the game going to play us. So that's what I'm on right now, man. It's just really trying to figure out, are we a community or are we a people divided? Like I say, online it look like that, but I don't feel that shit out in the street. I tell people all the time, every time like when we have a police shooting, people hate for you to bring up the black on black crime. They say, nah, man, that's just a ploy to focus on us as a high crime area. We high crime people. I say, well, say what you want to, but I'm a black man. I live in this community. I got at least 10 friends dead from gun violence, and none of them at the hand of a white man. All 10 of these friends is dead at the hand, including my brother, at the hand of another black man. So the proof is in the pudding. And I used to conduct a little experiment. I would go up to random black people and ask them, do they have any family members or friends dead by gun violence? And almost 8 times out of 10, it would be yes. Then I would ask, were any of your friends or family members killed by another black person? Yes. Were any of your friends or family members killed by a white person? And guess what? 10 times out of 10. And I ain't saying ain't nobody out there, but I'm just saying out of the research I done, nobody never said, oh yeah, my homie got killed by a white dude. Or, oh yeah, my homie got killed by police. And we know this happened. But what I'm telling y'all is this. Far more times it's us killing us than it's them killing us. There was a point in time in history where it was always them killing us. We wasn't even killing each other, man. You can go back to like like if you go back to the 50s and the 60s, man, black people wasn't really killing each other like that. I mean, it happened, but there's some shit we done got real heavy on since the 70s and the 80s, man. 90s. Now it's out of control. And I could do a whole video on that. Where that come from? That black rage, man, that hating each other. That come from slavery, man. They made us hate each other. They turned us against each other in every way. But we got to get rid of this rage and turn the rage where we need to turn it. Stop turning it against your brother. You know what I mean? Because that shit dumb. All that black man killing black men, black woman killing black women, or whatever it may be, it's just dumb, homie. It's dumb. We ain't gonna be able to make no more excuses. Because if we don't start making some changes, if we don't start doing some things conducive to being successful and progressing our community, we ain't gonna be able to sit back and point the finger and be whining and crying. I'm just being real. We gotta make some changes, bro. Like I said, we got to do better with how we treat each other. We gotta steer our kids in better directions to occupy positions of power. You gotta pay attention. Know your enemy. Know who your enemy is. Know how smart and cunning your enemy is. They built this system. Motherfuckers be like, well, if you're a black person and you don't like America, you should leave. Nah, not when I built this motherfucker. I built it, my dog. See this DVD right here? It's a dope DVD. If y'all get a chance to check it out, it's called A Black Church. It's by Henry Louis Gates Jr. That brother is awesome, real wise, intelligent brother. He also did Across Many Rivers, another one I was very fond of. But this talks about the black church's relationship with black people during slavery and coming out of slavery. And what y'all don't know is, not all the slaves came over here without religion. Some of the enslaved bought Islam with them. Not many of them, maybe a few, but so you got to remember, we were already a spiritual people, right? Before the master gave us his version of religion, okay? But when he gave us his version of religion, what he didn't know is that Bible has truth in it. Even if they switch things up and reword it, those tales in that Bible has truth. And when them slaves began to read and understand that Bible, when they were taught that Bible, as years went on, they began to learn it. They started looking at them stories like, damn, I think these stories about us. You know, you read these stories about slaves and about, you know, Pharaoh and how he did the slaves and let my people go. That shit started resonating with the slaves, man. They started recognizing that was a story of them. And that was the magical thing, you know, of the Bible, is that no matter how much Satan has tried to distort it, it still has been a tool that allowed people to overcome. Believe it or not, say what you want. That's all them slaves had when they got it. Right? And, you know, folks say a lot of things, man. Folks say, oh, man, they should have did this, they should have did that. Man, they don't think they ain't tried. They tried. But it's hard, brother, when your hands chained and you ain't got no gun, and you ain't got no lay of the land. You don't know which way to run. I mean, them folks had us in a tough position. But our people use that religion to give them some strength to make it through. And what I want y'all to know, man, is that we are remarkable people, bro. And we've been through a lot of stuff. We still have far to go, but we can do it. But we can't do it if we're a split community. You know what I mean? We gotta figure out, if we're not together, we need to stop capping. We need to stop the cap. Because it's gotta make sense. Alright? So I hope that the black community is able to come together and we're able to work out a plan to put ourselves back on top, the way we was during the time of Mansa Musa, the way we was during the time of the Moors in Spain. It's destined for us to be back on top. The only thing that can stop us is us. I'm so sick and tired of black men killing black men. We need y'all, brothers. Crips, Bloods, y'all warriors. Y'all some motherfucking warriors, man. We need that warrior spirit and energy, man. We need to represent all one cup, and that's that black. You know what I mean? GDs, Vice Lords. Much love to the GD. Free Larry Hoover, man. Free that brother. We need them warriors. You dig what I'm saying? We need all that energy. We need our own military. We need our own banks. We need our own hospital. We need our own schools. Worst thing that ever happened to us, watch this, I'm finna drop the bomb on y'all head. The worst thing to ever happen to us was desegregation. Worst thing. When we were in our own communities, we were much better. We thrived. We worked hard. We built. But once we started trying to be accepted and trying to be equal, shit went downhill. Been downhill ever since. Now we back to this point where we damn near don't even want to shop nowhere if it ain't black owned. I don't even want to eat in a restaurant if it ain't black owned. Because I want to support my people and I want us to support each other. See, that's how we got to be. I think you can be that and not be racist. Because I have no hatred in my heart toward white folks, Mexican folks, Asian folks. I love all people. But I also think that we can do the same as Jewish, Mexicans, and Asians and do more with supporting our own community so that it trickles back into our community. We got to learn to play this game, bro. It's a dirty game. And it was already ahead of us 200 years before we got here. So we got to catch up. We got to start sharing information. Stop hoarding the information from your brothers and your sisters because you don't want them to come up. It's too much bullshit going on, bro. Like dudes, like literally, well, instead of just being like, hey, bro, go do X amount of things to make this money, motherfuckers will make you jump through hoops. Oh, you got to pay me. I had to pay for this. I had to. Man, just help your brother, man. If you got some information, you can give brother some game, get a brother some game, homie. But if we're going to feel like, oh, man, you need to go do this because I had to go do that, we ain't going to never get nowhere. Stop crying when the white police kill a black man. Because you too worried about what you had to go through to get the way you had to help somebody else. And if you don't want to help your brother, you don't want to progress. You don't want to make the community stronger. So ain't no sense in crying when shit don't go our way. We got to do things conducive to progression. Got all these young black girls out here having these babies by themselves and they ain't picking good men to have babies by. Then you got these kids born into these broken situations. You got a 16-year-old trying to raise a child. She ain't nothing but a child. Baby growing up listening to all kind of gangster music. Listening to gun music all day long. Little boy get up, he 10, 11 years old, he walking around with a 30-shot clip. You know, we seeing this shit. We seeing these 13, 14-year-old black kids killing each other. We can't keep blaming the kids, homie. We got to start talking about this parenting. There's some piss-po ass parenting out there that's hurting the community. We got to start calling them out. That's another part. We got to start calling them out. I'm so sick of this shit, man. It's one big cycle. Just the other day, I see some girls, the famous twins. One of them responsible for their daddy getting killed over an argument with the sister about some money they supposedly had made. It was just sad to see that man out in the middle of the street, you know, shot up like that. But I don't know how he raised him. Did he raise him to be respectful? Did he raise him to be obedient? Because if you let your kids run wild, this is the shit that comes back. It'll come back to haunt you. It comes back to hurt the whole community. Because it's another story of another black man dead. That's another body we could use on the front line. You know what I mean? We just keep hurting each other, keep killing each other, and it ain't getting us nowhere. So like I say, I'm gonna wrap it up like this, man. I don't feel like we a community. I feel like we need to do the work to become a community. I'm going to push that message and put forth positivity as much as I can in order to help do that. And if you feel the same way, I want you to do the same thing. So y'all let me know what y'all feel. Do y'all feel like we a community, or do y'all feel like we divide? What are some of the things going on in the community that you are upset about or that you would like to see better? I'm going to leave y'all with that to think about. Appreciate y'all coming out to Unique Perspective Podcasting.